Just defensive mistakes that we made. We weren't defensively sound. You know, we weren't talking a lot. We got mixed up in a bunch of cross screens and down screens and dribble handoffs and didn't switch like we were supposed to.
When they switched the zone, it seemed to cause a little bit of problems. Did they do anything special, or did you guys just not execute your zone offense very well?
I don't think we did as good of a job as we have in the past of sharing the ball and getting the ball around and moving it. We were real stagnant at the beginning of that zone. Then we started to find a rhythm a little bit in the second half, but I think that's what caused us to get down.
Do you guys expect that change? Is that something that you noticed from them in past games?
Yeah, we knew they were going to switch defense on us, especially how the game started. They weren't doing well in man, so we expected that.
Is that frustrating for you guys that it was something that you had prepared for, expected, but didn't react well real?
Yeah, for sure. You know, because in past games, you know, we've killed the zones, honestly, like New Mexico's, Arkansas Pine Bluffs, other teams that we've done really, really well in it. I think this game, like he said, we just got stagnant and didn't penetrate into the paint as well as we did in the past and kick it out to open guys.
How frustrating is this one for you guys, just to take the loss after the big win over Fresno and not follow it up with as good a game?
Yeah, you know, it's that's how conference is. You know, you got to come every single game and fight to the to the very end, and you know, we just got to get back to it. We have a tough game. You know, Air Force is playing very well, so come into practice tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and just get better.
Do you think you had that tip in at the end?
No, I came off my hand wrong. You know, I didn't have enough time to grab it. Actually, I just had to tip it, so I knew as soon as I hit my hand, I saw the trajectory of it. I knew it wasn't going in.
Was it an ideal bounce to be?
It was perfect bounce, honestly. It's just we would have had 1.2 seconds left. I would be able to put more arc onto it instead of just tipping it.
You get some solace or some comfort in knowing that you guys were able to battle back and make it within one possession after everything.
No.
Loss is a loss.
Loss is a loss, You know, at a certain point, we got to be able to tell ourselves, instead of saying, "Hey, good job, you fought back," and get a W.
In the loss, AB had another great game from the field. How nice is it to know that you guys have him to rely on off the bench?
It's incredible because, he's experienced. He knows what to do, and I know every time he comes in the game, he's ready to hit a big shot and do whatever we need for the team.
The biggest factor for getting a win at Air Force be just sharing the basketball more.
Yeah, sharing the basketball, and they play a pretty good offense. They have a pretty good offense, complicated offense, and if we play like we did here that first time, then we'll have a good chance of getting the same result.
You know, get points during that second half there. It looked like had some opportunities to score the basketball. Does that just come down to execution in your guys' mind? Just kind of executing the plays, executing the offense?
I think we executed, when we ran plays, we executed pretty well. It's just, sometimes the shots don't go in. We just got to keep on working, and, they'll fall eventually.
Nico, you moved to third all-time in rebounds. Does a loss kind of sully that achievement for you a little bit?
Yeah, that's just an accomplishment that I have, but, I'd rather win games.
Tough game for us tonight. Disappointing loss. You got to give Boise a lot of credit. They got down early, and they came back, and I just don't think we really did a very good job of responding, until right there at the end. But that was too late. Clearly, defensively, we were not very good tonight for long enough periods of time to winning. Again, you got to give them credit. They were more physical than us, a little bit more aggressive, and their zone slowed us down. We didn't do a very good job attacking it. They just kept really crowding the lane on us. We couldn't get to the free throw line. And same point in time, we had a lot of wide open looks, that didn't go in. But that's one of those nights, we weren't able to do that against the zone. And so that was going to be one of those games we were going to have to win on the defensive end. And, you look at the numbers, and that wasn't the case. What do we have, 17 more shots than them tonight? And clearly, you got to be better defensively than we were.
After Fresno State, you were really looking for some consistency. It's a little disheartening to see the way this game ended.
I think so. And you look at it, and matchups are different, in every game, and clearly they had, they were a little bit bigger and than us on the front line. I thought they exploited that. We didn't do a very good job of keeping the ball out of the post. Our post doubles weren't nearly as effective as I wanted them to. And I thought a lot of just their simple screening actions, we just weren't very physical getting through screens. We just didn't do as good of a job as we needed to. It wasn't anything real tricky. And then I thought, with about 10 minutes to go in the game, I started seeing some things out there that were, just lose a guy on a simple action and don't communicate. And, sometimes we've still got to grow, or maybe we got a little bit frustrated and then we kind of fractured, from what we practice. And that was disappointing. And because you look at it, guys, we've been, other than the first game against UNLV, all of our other games have kind of been, but the 3 games we've won at home, we've had healthy leads, or we've been down, big on the road. And this is one of those games that was kind of, nip and tuck. And you've got to expect that. Shots aren't going to go in every night. Teams might do things that frustrate you, whether it's on a scouting report or, it's not always going to be guys' nights. And you've got to find a way to grind out those wins. And we just didn't have the mentality to do that.
You get brought up the point that you guys have had success against the zone in the past. And does that make it a little bit more frustrating seeing the way that they kind of look confused out there against their zone?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, they did a really good job of crowding the lane, in the zone against us, and but we just, we didn't look to drive the ball at all against the zone. And again, we did get some wide open looks, late in the clock that were, unguarded. We didn't make them, but just thought we settled too much. Thought we needed to drive the ball a lot more and just keep attacking, even though they're crowded. But they really got us, off the attack. And you got to give them credit. Probably made a mistake. We tried a few other things in the second half offensively against it that we probably shouldn't have done. We just should have stayed with, what we were doing. We did get a couple of layups, a time against it, but that happens, we got to be better defensively because, again, if you think about it, if you're better on defense, you get the ball off the board and you can go in transition, and we had some success there that way. But if we can't get stops, you can't get out in transition because sometimes the best way to beat a zone down the floor is to get out and outrun it, and we just couldn't do that enough.
Did it surprise you that they gave intentional foul there at the end?
Yeah, when I look at it from my standpoint, I made a mistake there in the sense of I thought we had a nice action that we had talked about that we ran. I thought we could get a good look at 3 there. I thought we had something that we could do without calling a timeout that we had practiced, a special situation. So I thought, man, we can get a good look at 3 here right now. This would be great. And then, their credit, we entered the ball to Nico on that play, and they fouled him, and that's what happened. And that's not taking away. I probably shouldn't have run that play, in hindsight. I got, I think we can get this, a good look at it, and it didn't happen.
First 5 minutes or so, you guys did defend really well, and then they started hitting some shots. Is it just, I guess a mental immaturity? You guys didn't respond to that, real well?
Maybe, Again, I just go with my gut, watch a film. My gut said, I don't know, we had like a double-digit lead early, and for whatever reason, I don't know if our guys just felt like, oh, all right, we're gonna, come here and we're just gonna do what we do and beat this team soundly. And then when they started coming back against us, and then we missed some shots, I just thought our energy level went down. Like we didn't look like we were ready to respond, with a fight tonight. And again, you got to give Boise credit. Nothing surprised me. I anticipated that from them tonight. I thought they'd come in confident. I thought they'd come in physical, and we just didn't match that.
Jessup coming in was kind of a known commodity. You knew he was their leading scorer. It's a little disappointing to know that he drops 20 game-high 20 points when you guys knew coming in that he was.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I thought Hobbs really hurt us too. It wasn't just Jessup. I thought it was Hobbs, and we just were not very physical getting through screens, and a couple times late. Now, he made a couple of tough ones early. There was a couple of shots where he made and they were contested. That's what happens, with guys. But, yeah, there were just a couple late shot clock where, we didn't have a hand up and we let him shoot. And, he just didn't really feel us tonight. And you got to give them credit for that, but a little bit disappointing on our end. Thank you.